Hey, what up? It's Crunk. From popular request, I'm going to be showing how to make a USB-C cable, BEC, for a GoPro. Now, if you just took a USB-C and cut the wire and connected it to a BEC, it's going to put the GoPro into connect to PC mode. Now, I have a solution to solve that. So I'm going to be showing you how to make a BEC cable. So here's everything you're going to need. A balance wire, a 4.7K ohm resistor, and a USB-C cable. This is a USB-C and on one end and a standard USB there. This is just a USB 2.0 cable. That's all you need. Do not get a USB 3.0 cable or you're going to be running into some issues. Alright, so to start off with, what we're going to be doing is, so to make this cable, we're just going to kind of figure out the length that we're going to need. I mean, the GoPro, connect to the GoPro, bring it to the power. I would say right about, if I decide to use this on my 3-inch, I'm not going to be just using just the Beta. Okay, so let's see here, plugged in. Let's say right about here. So we're just going to cut this wire. GoPro, we're going to wrap the wire around. Right to the BC, right about here. And okay, so we're just going to unravel this. Connections, bring it down, get it down to the wire. Okay, so we got another rubber coating. I'm going to score this with a razor blade. Awesome. So we got 4 wires here. We got a ground, a positive wire, and we have our 2 data lines. So the issue is if you plug this USB-C cable and just connect the power connections, it's going to show up on the GoPro as connecting to PC. So what you need to do is we're just going to have to trim up these wires and grab the resistor. Now all of these parts that I'm using is going to be on there's going to be an Amazon affiliate link. So please, if you decide to make this exact cable, use my affiliate link because I do get a small commission from that. So all right, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to just bend these wires over like this. I'm going to trim it up because I don't need all this wire. So trim up to probably about here. There as well. And I'm going to connect it up to the data line. So the data line is going to be the green and the white connection. Get this wire feed stuff out of the way. There we go. I'm going to trim off the wire. And I'm also going to need some shrink tube. trim it up a tad bit more because I realize the length of the wires is a tad bit too long. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tin up the wires. Get this mesh out of the way, all this mess out of the way. Go. When soldering, it's always recommended to use a fume vac. Yep, that's a little hot. Alright, we need some helping hands here. Now I'm going to hit it. After soldering the resistor on, I'm going to hit it with some heat shrink. Heat gun, and shrink the heat shrink. Now the heat shrink has been shrinked up. I'm just going to position this resistor. Now it's going to fit. And now I'm going to shrink that up. Now we're good to connect this to the BEC and solder this up. Tin up the connections. This thing keeps moving on me. God, kidding me? Alright, well, I ended up destroying this coating on the wire. I don't want it to short out, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some shrink tube on that as well. Add some shrink tube to guard the wire. And there we go. Now for this, easiest way of making this is to literally pull out the rest of the pins you're not using. Just like that. And then at this point, what I like to do is I like to just kind of take this BEC and I just bend it back like this. And then kind of wrap the wire around, kind of like this right here. So I'm going to trim it right about here. this point, I just bend the BEC back. I just wrap the wire around it like this. You just pull this pin out. Make sure you don't forget which way it goes. Ground is always on this side. Positive is always on this side. Because I just tapped too big. There we go. Hit it with some shrink tube. So here is the final completion of the cable. I did have to unravel the wire which I wrapped around the BEC because it was not long enough. Now all you do is just plug it in. And now what I'm going to be adding to the STL file is this little notch into the print. So that way the cable can easily plug in. And because without the notch it won't fit. And instead of having that gigantic cable sticking out the side, now it's flush with the GoPro pretty much. Now you just power it on. Now this particular design will only work for the GoPro Hero 5, 6, 7, and 8, I believe. It will not work for the GoPro Hero 9. I'll show you here in a second why this BEC will not work for the 9. So here is the GoPro Hero 9, and the issue is that this particular cable that I chose will not plug all the way in. And it stops right about there. Like, it's not fully plugging in, and I don't want to push it in all the way or it's going to damage the USB-C if I try to jam it in there. So it kind of just stops right about there. So it's not going to plug in all the way because of the cable, the way it's designed. Unless you modify your GoPro, which I don't recommend because the glass is like right there on the edge. So I'm going to be looking for another right angle cable that's a little bit wider, and they'll have enough room for the gap for that to be able to plug in with ease. Maybe a right angle, an L shape angle, where instead of it going this direction, it comes out the top, and then be able to plug it in so the cable comes out the bottom or it comes out the top of the GoPro. So I'm going to see what I can find. I will make an update video on the third revision of this BEC once I've figured out the best cable to use. So do me a favor, smash that follow button. I notice there's a lot of people watching my videos, and not very many of you are smashing that follow button. I mean, if you don't like my videos and you don't want to continue watching them or get notified when they get posted, just don't hit the notification bell. Just do me a favor, smash that follow button. It helps me out. And until then, peace.